All right, folks, good evening and welcome to the People's Court. The court is in session starting now. My name is Victor Muyakani. Good people, we live in a world where it's often said that you need money to make money. But what about the people who haven't got any money or who haven't got any means to make this money? How do they make a living? How do they put food on their table? Tonight, we put the so-called hustle economy on trial, and we want to talk about the real stories of Kenya's doers, the dreamers. We want to talk about the digital movers, the entrepreneurs of this country, and what opportunities are there. Is the hustle economy a viable plan or a journey to prosperity, or is it a trap, a short-sighted trap that keeps us on a rut that focuses on present needs and without any idea of what the future holds? Tonight, we have a lot of people here to help us understand this. And we're trying to understand from fruit sellers to freelancers, from boda bosses to online entrepreneurs, and for the people who don't have formal education, what pipelines exist for them to the job market, if any. Let's talk about that. What does it mean to hustle in 2025? Welcome to the People's Court. Allow me, just before I introduce our guests in studio, I want to invite all of you who are watching us right now, the TikTok gang, send in your questions, send in your views and reviews on the topic that we have tonight. Send it live and direct, and we shall be able to bring it to you. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on Facebook, and of course on the terrestrial channels. Karibuni sana, ladies and gentlemen, to this conversation. Shall we begin? Allow me to introduce first, because she's the only lady on the panel. We start with her. Allow me to introduce from the Ajira Digital Program at KEPSA. She is the Digital Work Specialist. Her name is Martha Otieno. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Karibu sana. Next, we have somebody who is very well known to you guys on TikTok. Anaitwa Solo. All right, just tell us that tagline that you say. Naitwa Solo.
Naitwa Solo, napelekaga watu Gikomba na ninajua mashimo.
All right. All right, he'll tell us more about Izo Mashimo. Yeah. He's a founder, of course, of Cheva Errands. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Next to him, we have from Generation Kenya, the manager in charge of mentorship, Nelson Komba. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, bro.
All is well?
All is well.
Supreme. Next to him, we have my namesake. I didn't bring him here. He came here by virtue of his credentials as an SME expert. His name is Agola Victor. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. And we were to have the chairperson from the Boda and Tuk Transport Cooperative Union of Kenya, Mr. Nehemiah Kiwa, but he was held up. Nafikiri kuna ajali fulani imetokea mbali kule barabarani, and he was held up. But he has sent his able right-hand man. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Naitwa Joel Amboka.
Amboka. Mr. Amboka, I remember we were with you in the other program with the bikes in studio.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
You look different without the helmet.
And sasa sahi niko ile sasa official.
Official, rasmi.
Kabisa.
Very nice. Asante sana. Asante. And of course, you know how we do. If you're watching People's Court, we always have a representation of you from the people that we have in studio, the people in the studio. Karibuni sana. Habari zenu? Mko wazima? All right, karibuni sana. Now, I want us to step right into this conversation, and I want to just go around the room. I'll pick people at random. Talk to me, what does the word hustle mean to you? What does the word hustle mean to you? As you think about that, as you digest that, what hustle means to you, let us take a look at this package that was prepared by our very own John Kennedy Otieno. Karibu sana.
Silas Ombugu is a fruit vendor along Wayaki Way. Unlike many others, when he finished his high school studies, he chose to pursue business instead of the trodden path of academia. Asked why he chose this path over all others, he responds.
Mimi nilijua tu mom, story ya uni nakuwa story ngumu. So nikapiga tu sababu nikaona tu mimi nikiingia tu kwa biashara Mungu mbele itajiba.
Still, I wonder, why become a fruit vendor?
My mom used to say to do the business, but on a not as big as it is, but in a small.
I ask him about the early days of his business.
After high school, that's 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing, I did my KCSE. Then before the results were out, nikaanza hiyo biashara sasa ya maize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with I had some small saving of 200 shillings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went and bought some maize. Then the jiko I sourced it from the at home, and now I started the business.
Intrigued, I press him further about the challenges he's faced in the line of his work.
Nakumbuka holiday moja kanjo alipata nikiwa nauza njugu. The same stop. Hapa tu penye tuko. Walivuruga akabeba njugu zangu nikaachwa nikilia.
We talk for a while longer. We start discussing how he managed to grow his venture, starting from 200 shillings to the scale it is at now.
The banks are there to support you.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as you have an idea and you have the and they need to see your transactions, how you do, yani how you are operating your finances. Yeah. The money in, money out, what you are purchasing, what you intend to do, all those factors they consider.
I wonder, how does he manage to maintain a healthy work-life balance?
Me, I'm a very funny person because mi akili yangu tu ni biashara. Biashara tu na Mungu. Kitu tu inafanya nafunga kazi tu ni God. Mi sinanga ati time tutaenda sherehe. No, I don't have. Timetable yangu, it doesn't allow.
Considering all the work he puts in, I ask him if he would ever consider working a regular job. His response is a firm no. When asked why, he responds,
It's only that in business you make your own money.
Yeah.
And it is easy to make your own money. You make the decision by yourself. Yeah, that's all.
As we wind up, I ask him what his advice for aspiring entrepreneurs would be.
To some soko yako, you know where to put more interest, where to put less effort. Yeah, several factors. Lakini business is all about records. Business is for risk taker. Kama yeye sio risk taker, achane na hiyo story kabisa. Again, to be psychologically prepared. Anything can happen.
Otieno John Kennedy, TV47.
All right, thank you, John Kennedy. Now, guys, as you listen to that, I want to throw a question around the room. Let's start with you. What does hustle mean to you?
To me...
Just briefly, when you think about hustle, when you hear hustle, what does that mean?
To me, it means resilience, someone trying to preserve their dignity. Just because there is no employment opportunities does not mean you beg or stay at home. So it means someone has to be creative and be able to still earn a living.
All right. What about you, Solo? What does hustle mean to you? That word hustle, inamaanisha nini kwako?
To bring it home, naweza sema hustle, kitu ya kwanza ni kujituma. Kujituma. This means you'll have to use your energy. Matters kutoka kwa akili, physical, ndo ujue kama utakulalia makesho.
All right.
So nguvu yako ndo na determine kama. So once you're lazy, unalanja. Ukijituma, at least kuna kitu. Yes, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Nelson, hustle, what does that mean to you?
I think for me, in many ways, hustle is a story of survival that many of us have had to go through to be where we are today. And therefore, for me, I look at hustle as the necessity. As someone says, necessity is the mother of invention. Many young people in our country are trying to be innovative so that they can put food on the table, because all the time you're seeing that the economy is freezing every time and then. And therefore, it's a means for people to put food on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Victor? Hustle, what does that mean to you?
I think hustle to me means making money, as simple as that.
Simple.
But I think we also need to take cognizant that we are a supermarket economy and we are a kitchen garden for...
What does that mean?
We are a supermarket economy, meaning that every person who's doing business in Kenya is doing wholesale retail, meaning that we buy to sell. We don't really create real value, and that's why we hustle.
Okay.
So I think that's...
We'll delve into that in a moment. I like that. Mr. Ombaka.
Yes, Amboka.
Amboka.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
hustle, what does that mean to you? Ukisikia hustle, inamaanisha nini kwako?
Mimi nikisikia hustle huwa inamaanisha kwamba ni kujituma. Na kujituma ni ile kufanya ile kazi ambayo inaweza kukuletea mapato katika familia yako na katika jamii yako.
All right.
Yes.
Asante. By a show of hands, how many in the audience are hustlers? By these definitions. Nani wangapi ni mahasla? Ni kama kila mtu. So hebu tusikie kidogo. From you, madam, let's start with you. Wewe una hustle gani? Wewe unapiga hustle gani? Na unapigia wapi? Na hustle yako ni halali kisheria ama ni?
Okay, my name is Lynette Moke. I'm from Woodley, Jamhuri Market. I'm a treasurer there. I've been an hustle, an entrepreneur from 2007 up to date.
Okay, what do you deal with?
I sell second-hand clothes, that is dresses for ladies and blazers.
Okay.
And hustling means you get up, you don't know what you're going to get at the end of the day, but you have faith, you will get something. That's all that hustle means.
Okay. Nani mwingine anapiga hustle? Ndugu, unapiga hustle gani? Na ukiona Subaru ya DCI, uko na wasiwasi ama una utulivu? Hustle yako ni legit?
Okay.
Unaitwa nani?
Mwanaharakati J. Habuba.
Yes, Habuba.
Yeah, from Migori County, Kurialand, Kehancha.
Okay. Hustle yako ni nini?
Okay, mi uza nguo za watoto wadogo.
Okay.
Na pia huwa na brand kuandika nguo majina.
Okay.
Vikombe na mambo mengine.
So hustle inamaanisha nini kwako?
Yeah, kwangu hustle ni kujitafuta na kujielewa jinsi ya kuishi maisha haya tunaishi sasa hivi, sababu bila hiyo hustle nyumba itafungwa, chakula utakosa.
Asante. Yeah. Let's hear from a few more people from the back. Pass to the gentleman and then the lady behind and then the gentleman right next to the gentleman who's speaking right now. Unaitwa nani? Unatoka wapi na unapiga hustle gani?
Mimi naitwa Mansa. Hiyo ni jina ya street.
Kama Mike.
Naitwa Mansa. Hiyo ni jina ya street ya Mboka. Ya shughuli. Napiga hustle ya peleka wase wadhi ni Gikomba. Same na solo.
Kama solo.
Okay. Napiga na yeye actually.
Okay.
Na pia niko na shughuli nyingine ya brand ya asali.
Okay.
Hustle kwangu ina represent.
Asali honey.
Yenyewe.
Yenyewe.
Ile ya nyuki.
Okay, wazi.
Hustle ina represent story ya victory. Si kila saa unakaa chini unasema gava nini. Usitaka kuplay victim kila time.
Okay.
Unaweza kuwa victor pia.
All right. I see what you did right there. Pass the mic to the ladies in the back. Let's hear from you. Unaitwa nani? Unapiga hustle gani? And what does hustle mean to you?
Hi, naitwa Wamboi. I'm a Gen Z and I'm a student. Being a student and with no skills, especially me being in university, I've tried couple things. Nimeuza manguo pale kwa nyumba. I've tried baking. I've tried.
Why did the baking succeed?
Yeah, it did actually. Currently, I am in.
Are you still baking?
A food business, yeah.
Okay.
Baking and food industry, and she is my business partner.
All right.
I carried her, and so hustling for me ni kutafuta, other than kutotegemea mzazi, basically wanting to relieve my parents of the burden of, kuni-sustain.
Okay.
So hustling ni mimi kutaka kujitegemea na.
Miss Independent.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Let's listen to the gentleman in front of you, and then we'll come back to the rest of you, msijali. Tupo pamoja. Sir, what's your good name? Hustle yako ni gani?
My name is Nelson Ochieng from Tindwa Market. I'm the secretary there. My hustling is selling clothes, selling ideas on how to make your money work for you. I write magazines called Your Kali Times, as you can see from my clock here. And to me, hustling is just trying, in fact, it's just like freestyle way of trying to do something, to get something, to get something into your pocket.
I like that.
Yes.
Freestyle, trying to do something to get something. All right. Now, I want to come to you, Nelson, and I want you to just kind of shed some light for us on this particular matter. First of all, Nelson, you come from an organization that sits right in the middle of this conversation about hustlers and creating pathways from a place of lack to a place of opportunity. I want you to talk to us a little bit about that, and I want you to tell us from where you sit. You work with thousands of young people trying to find footing, trying to find ways out. Do you see hustling as it is in Kenya? Do you see it as opportunity and empowerment, or do you see it as perhaps desperation, which is wrapped up in something like optimism?
Well, that's a good question, Victor. I think for me, I see hustling as a big opportunity in this country. Because look at it this way, we have over 800,000 to 1 million young Kenyans entering the job market.
And this is every year?
Yeah, every year. These are people entering the job market. And if you don't have a structured way of putting these people into the job market, then it becomes a very big challenge. Mm-hmm. Actually, if you look at the statistics themselves, it says that people are between 15 to 34 years, 7% of them are unemployed. And these are young people who are looking for opportunities to thrive and survive. And therefore, at Generation Kenya, we look at that in the skills and training and mentorship angle, because we find that a lot of young people are losing direction because they are lacking a partner who believes that in their availability and the little that they have, someone can build on that and they can actually thrive in this particular economy. And therefore, what we've done is that we have realized that there's a lot of opportunities in the digital economy. Actually, if you read some of the reports, like the Kicknanet report says that right now we have 1.2 million people working online, labor workers. And we are seeing that as an opportunity for young Kenyans to come and thrive in this particular economy. And therefore, the training that we are doing, these are trainings that are actually preparing these young people to be able to work online and earn. So it's actually democratizing what we believe to be a job, all right? Everywhere that you are, so long as you have access to the internet, you can come, get trained, and get an opportunity to work online and actually earn a decent wage. And from the surveys that we've actually done, we find that young people who come to our programs and they are able to get this knowledge and these skills and are able to apply these skills into the clients that we work with, most of them are from the global north. They are able to earn a living and they're able to sustain themselves and their families, which for me it's a very big thing. You don't have to wake up every day and go to look for a formal job. You can actually employ yourself based on where you are, so long as you have access to a smartphone, so long as you have access to the internet, and so long as you have access to quality training. And right now we have infused something called artificial intelligence. What does that? It makes a young person to be able to fit into the current labor market that really demands a lot from these young people. And so these small jobs that you're seeing people say, Upwork, people talking about transcriptions, people talking about the ability to do digital marketing. When you combine that, actually a young person is able to make good money, and the beauty about these things that this person is able to learn quite a lot from different clients, and this person becomes very diversified with skills. But we have challenges, and just mention two of them. Mm-hmm. One is that we lack social protection in some of these industries. Some of these online jobs, someone, when they get sick, these clients are not able to provide health insurance, and they're not able to access some of these things. So we need to come up and enforce and advocate for some of those things so that some social protection can be put in place.
Right.
The last challenge is access to credit. You'll find that some of our banks, they still don't recognize some of these online jobs as actually jobs. Right. When these young people go with some of those contracts, say, I'm online, I'm employed, the banks can't give them access to credit.
Actually, on that point, Nelson, how many of you, the hustlers in studio, how many of you actually have been able to get loans from banks to expand your business? You have. But if you look around you, you'll notice you're the only one there, which reinforces the point. And we'll talk to you a little bit later about how you even got qualified by the bank. Because I think that access, Nelson, is something you're talking about. Access to credit is a big problem. And our banks are not able to qualify and even quantify these jobs as lend-worthy. We'll come back to that in a second. I want to bring you in, Martha. You're in digital transformation. When you hear Nelson talk about, what we might call the digital hustle, and a lot of people feel like the digital hustle is a great equalizer. If you have access to the internet, you have the same opportunity as anybody else. You can be like Solo and make a living from it. You make a living from it. You make some money from it, full time.
Yeah.
And then you can be like our brother here who says he wants to make something, from something. Do something to make something. Martha, is the digital hustle really the great equalizer, or is it a new face to an old problem, to an old challenge?
Both, actually. Because I think the youth that we have nowadays are using every single opportunity to earn income. So you find that the digital space has really opened up. Kenya is well positioned in terms of Kenyans are well learned, their English is very good, so they're able to access international jobs. Also, you find that most Kenyans, through the Ajira program, have now able to access the centers that were set up around the whole country, and also the skilling projects and all that. So you find that the access is there, the opportunities are there, and currently, as Nelson had mentioned, there are different organizations and partners coming up to do the skilling part, because the jobs are there, the youth are there, but what about the skills? So we are trying to match the skills to the opportunities that are there. And what we also need to recognize is that 80% of actually the 800,000 to 1 million of youth enter the informal job market. So only 15% are able to be employed informal. So where are they going to go? So you have someone who has access to smartphone, we have someone who has access to internet, and here 80% of this number who needs to earn income. So you find that people find ways to join the internet, and they're able to now make money. And other than that, there's so much, Kenya has grown tech-wise. So you find SMEs, businesses, even the public sector are trying to find who's going to help me also get digitized. So that's where the youth are able to take up those opportunities, and not only as a job, but also to diversify. You find someone is already in a formal job space, but they decide, I want extra income. So you find these people are able to diversify their income through the digital space. So that has really been able to help out.
Martha, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Guys, and you guys can testify here. Isn't it true that for a lot of people, they actually go into the so-called hustle space because of desperation? Hakuna option ingine. There's some people that actually, right off the bat, they walk into the space knowing this is what I want to do. But for a lot of people, they walk into that space desperate because the roads that we were told are going to offer jobs, they're not working.
True.
So how do we turn this around from something you do because you have no other option? And by the way, I want to bring you here, sir, watu wengi wanasema kwamba, like boda boda, for instance.
Yes.
If you speak to a lot of people, and we've had them in the studio, and they tell us, nilimaliza shule, nikakosa form. So, nikaenda boda.
Yeah.
Ama nikaingia online, kujaribu kufanya something. And then there's the people who see someone like Solo doing what he's doing, and they're like, if it works for him, I'm going to try that because I don't have any other. Can you help us understand, what do we need to do is there a shift that needs to happen in our minds to actually embrace these jobs as viable options and not just indo risasi ya mwisho?
Actually, so true, because I think even as we started this particular program, the guy who was speaking was saying that they don't want to move to any other job. Even if they are given an option to go back to school and get into formal employment, they're okay the way they are. That means this is a person who's realized that this is a space that you can earn a living from. And you find that organizations like KEPSA and programs like Ajira are now making it more structured. So they are trying to train these people on entrepreneurship skills. They are trying to train them on communication skills. How do you save? How do you borrow money?
Is it open to the public?
Yes, it's open to the public. It's actually a government.
Do people pay?
No, it's actually a government initiative.
Unasikia hii maneno? There's opportunities here to get the skills that you need to do to elevate what you do to the next level. This is good news, right? And the people who are watching on TikTok and on YouTube, how can they take part in this? What can they do?
ajiradigital.co.ke. You just support all, any youth can join. Yeah, and even you join right now, you'll find there are trainings there that are ongoing. Yes, you'll find that there are job opportunities that have been posted.
Excellent.
And this is just one example. I know other organizations like Generation Kenya and the rest are also doing the same, trying to structure the hustle economy. We know that for you to succeed, you need to be able to save that money, you're able to reinvest that money, you need to speak to customers, and now we are moving to the digital era. He's using social media. Digital is not just web design and all that. As long as you can take your phone and use it to advertise, you can use it to market your products, call your clients, they pay through mobile money, all that is digital. So we find that all this digitization is also creating more employment opportunities. And right now, government is also coming up with policies to protect this labor force. Whereby they're discussing, can they have contracts? Can they have good working conditions? Can they be paid the minimum wage so that they have more?
Can they go to court if there's a grievance? Like, for example, the one that was with Meta recently. Those guys were working at the server house in Nairobi. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, I want to bring in Victor here. Data says that, and she alluded to this, that about 83% of Kenyan jobs are informal. 83%. Should we be proud or should we be scared that 83% of jobs are informal? And informal meaning they fall under some of the traps that Nelson and Martha have talked about, which is unregulated. The people that work in those spaces are unprotected. You know what I mean? Should we be scared or should we be proud that our economy is able to generate 83% of those jobs informally?
Actually, it's annually the informal sector is the one that creates it absorbs 80% of Kenyan youth. I think we need to have perspective when we're looking at the Kenyan economy. And when I started with my open remarks, I said that we are a supermarket economy.
Break it down, please.
And we are a kitchen garden for EU, US, and China. What do I mean? We are a supermarket economy in the sense that a lot of us, and of course some of the speakers have indicated, is a lot of Kenyans do the wholesale retail business. So this is either you're buying camera in Kikomba going to sell, or you're buying tomatoes, or you're buying whatever clothes, etc. That is good, but that is not good enough for us to be able to create livelihood outside of being a hustler. If you look at the rich people in this country, if you look at politicians, you'd ask yourself, are they taking their children to go to do these types of businesses? The answer probably is no. You realize that a lot of them push their kids, or any other serious economy would always push the citizens to sectors that can be sustained. Yes, technology is important, but there are fundamentals that are able to build an economy, and this is manufacturing. We need to be able to push our young people, our entrepreneurs to do manufacturing, because that's where you can be able to sustain jobs in the long run and absorb a lot of young people moving forward. We need to be able to be serious around agribusiness. We need to be able to be serious around generally innovation. Yes, we talk about, for instance, technology, but we are largely a consumer of technology. If you look at TikTok, if you look at Instagram, the people who actually gain are the owners of these platforms. So the question for me is, how then can we be able to harness our young people to be able to produce technology for county governments and national government? That is where you can be able to really extract value. Otherwise, what we see with wholesale retail, yes, it's good you're hustling, but again, statistics says 3 out of 5 businesses close. So some of these of my friends here, they might be in business today, tomorrow they're closing. Why? Because the system doesn't work for them. So we need to really focus on and ask ourselves, why is government not pushing or creating an environment that allows for us to be able to manufacture, for us to be able to develop technology, and for us to be able to really extract value from agriculture. We export coffee, we export tea, we've been exporting cut flowers for the last 10 plus years or so. We don't export any other thing to EU or to China or to US. Why can't we, as a government, start to explore other products that we can add value and export to these countries. Otherwise, the people who play within the coffee value chain are very few. The people who are playing in tea are very few. Everything we are taking out is raw. So it means that we are not very serious, maybe from a government perspective, in terms of really, creating an environment that allows for our young people, our mothers, our women, to move into sectors where they can be able to really, do business and not just survive, but just do proper business and extract value and live a comfortable life.
Right. As you were talking, somebody here, do you have a question or a comment?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I think the government has not created a conducive environment for those who are in business to prosper. Number one, I can say, being in business for a decade, I can say now things are bad. Kwa ground vitu ni mbaya kabisa. People vile mnasema watu wamejituma, but things are not working. You know, who are the consumers? The consumers are the people who are coming and promoters. But nowadays they're not coming. Why? That's the question we should ask ourselves. They're not coming because the economy is not conducive for them to come and take things from us. Now you end up, when we used to go to Gikomba, maybe in a week we spend 100 Gs, you come in a week, you are able to get that 100,000 and still get a profit. Nowadays we are not getting. And I'm keep on asking myself, what is it that I'm doing wrong that is happening now? Because I have the skills, I've learned what I'm supposed to do, I know how to balance my money, but things are not working in Kenya at the moment. And I can say the government has contributed a lot to that. Kwa sababu, when you see, kwanza, corruption has taken a center stage in this government. And I can say we have leaders who cannot emulate corruption from us. That is why we are going through hardship, even people who are in business. I can tell you some years back, I used to have money in the account. Whatever I'm getting there, it's just like a passing by. When you ask about those people who are getting loans, yes, I get loan to fund my business. But no, I'm not even able to pay that loan the way I'm supposed to pay. And it's not me alone. A lot of people that we are working with, they are not even able to pay their loans. We can get the access to the money. But the returns are very little. I can say, the only thing I can say, we are taking a very wrong direction in our country.
Okay.
And our leaders should consider that, because things are very, very bad, and I'm even bitter with this government.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as you're the treasurer.
Yes.
What wanna contribute?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nikubaya.
Vitu ni mbaya kwa ground.
All right. Now, when we were talking, we hear that boda boda is like, there's several perspectives in this. Some people say boda boda is like the place where people who don't have anything to do go. How does that make you feel? And considering that there are people who actually take that business very seriously. Can you talk to us about how to make this boda boda industry, how you have made and your members have made boda boda into a viable, reliable source of income that has dignity and a future?
Yes. Boda boda sector na tuktuk ni sekta ambayo kwa hii serikali ama kwa hii katika hii sekta ambayo tuko saa hii, unapata ya kwamba ni sekta ambayo itambuliki katika biashara ambayo iko Kenya. Sekta ambayo itambuliki kwa sababu wengi wao wanaonekana ni kama watu wamechanganyikiwa, na watu ambao hawafai. But ukiangalia vizuri, sekta ya boda boda ndio sekta ambayo imeweza kuimarisha uchumi wa Kenya. Kwa sababu ukiangalia vizuri, ukipata vizuri, watu wengi wanaenda kwa petrol station, watu wengi wana spare parts, wana import hizi matuktuk. Unapata ya kwamba sisi ndio tumejenga hii Kenya. Uchumi wetu, biashara yetu ndio imeweza Kenya kufika mahali iko sahi. But unapata hiyo boda boda ndio sasa hata itambuliwe katika sekta ya serikali. Kitu kingine nafanya pia sisi wanabiashara boda boda, tunakosa kukua katika ya serikali, kwa sababu kui katika ile wanaitaje, ile kuitwa kukaa chini pamoja, wajue ya kwamba shida yetu ni gani. Unapata serikali inaamua tu wanafanya vitu zao kando, sisi kando. Ndio maana unapata sisi biashara yetu kwetu sisi kwetu haitupei chochote. Unapata mtu kama mimi nimeamua kweli biashara yangu ni boda, sina kazi nyingine, but unapata mimi sasa ndio nalipishwa ushuru wa hali ya juu sana. Kwa mfano unapata mimi nikitaka kwenda kununua pikipiki pale, napata hiyo pikipiki biashara bei yake iko juu sana, na mimi ni hasola tu mdogo. Unapata ya kwamba nikiwa pale katika biashara yangu, sema mimi nafanya kazi online, unapata ya kwamba wameweka ushuru katika pande ya kuitisha. Unapata ya kwamba wewe ukirequest
kwa hizo apps,
yes, wewe ukirequest unapata mali naenda na shilingi 100, bado hiyo shilingi 100 ninakatwa. So unapata sekta yetu ya bodaboda bado tuwezi imarika. That's why tuna request ya kwamba serikali ituweke katika mazungumzo, wajue ya kwamba sisi mashida yetu ni gani, na utapata sisi tukiwa katika mazungumzo pamoja na wao, utapata hii sekta yetu ya bodaboda, utapata watu pia sisi tumetajirika kama watu wengine. Umesikia madamu hapa amesema kwamba anakopa loan, na anakopa loan ili aweze kuimarisha biashara yake. Hata sisi tunakopa hizo pikipiki. Unapata mimi nimeamua, nimesema hapana, sina pesa ya kununua hiyo pikipiki kwa ujumla venye wanataka, but niko na ile kulipa mdogo mdogo. So unapata ile pesa nalipa ile pikipiki, nalipa double, ambapo hata ukiangalia vizuri unapata ni kuumizwa, unaumizwa. Okay. Yes, unapata hiyo ndio kazi umeamua, lakini ile ushuru unalipishwa ni hali ya juu sana.
All right.
Yes.
Ndugu, what's your name? I can see you want to react to...
Yes, I want to, in support of his sentiments.
Please, talk to us, yes.
My name is Shimwati, and I'm an investor in the boda sector. Actually, what he's saying is true. No. Hii hustle economy, it's a trap in a way. No. Ni kama kuna mtu mahali ni government, sio kuna mtu those in authority. Wameka wa Kenya mahali wa hustle, then wanaangalia mahali pesa inakuja mingi, wanakuja kuweka ushuru hapo. Unaona? So ile conducive environment ya government kusupport businesses ndogo ndogo hakuna. Unaona? Sai cash flow kwa watu hakuna. Kwa ground vitu ni different. So hatuwezi kuja hapa na danganyana vitu ziko sawa na haziwaka. Unaona? Kuna kitu mahali haiwaka. Na hiyo kitu tunajua ni nini. Unaona? So imeaffect kila mtu across board. Unaona? Sai kila mtu analia. Hii sekta ya bodaboda ni sekta mzuri. Ukiona sai kuna rules zimekuwa introduced sai za bodaboda as we speak. Unaona? Lazima sijui kwa sako, lazima ufanye nini. Hizo ni njia za kukulia tu watu wa bodaboda. Unaona? In real sense, kama unatozwa ushuru, inafaa tu ni service in return. But wewe unatozwa ushuru but hakuna ile kitu service serikali ina provide. Au ni kuja tu kuitisha pesa.
So still, unaona hii plan ya kuweka bodaboda kwa sako
ni kutukulia tu.
Aje sasa.
Hakuna service. Okay, what are they offering in return kwa? Ndio watu wanalipa kwa sako.
Lakini kwa sako ilikuwa inakuwa proposed kwa sababu gani? Kuna sababu gani behind it?
Okay, wanasema ni sababu ya discipline kwa barabara. Sako inaleta discipline. Yeah. Magari ngapi ziko kwa sako na bado zinakuwa na indiscipline kisa kwa barabara?
Okay, fair enough. But si wanasema kwamba if you're in a sako, it's easier to identify, to track down the indisciplined people. Kama sahi, you've heard in the news many times, matatu ikiwa na ajali, the sako is penalized until they go down to the actual perpetrator. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think someone is trying to play with our minds sisi wa Kenya.
Okay.
Government iko na dira za kila Mkenya. Ikikutaka itakupata ukiwa kwa sako kama usikiwa kwa sako. Kuna DCI, kazi yao nini? Whether you're in a sako or not in a sako, if you break the rules, wakikutaka watakupata.
So you see, this is mischievous. The government is being mischievous.
Vile amesema, hizi pikipiki mingi, okay, mavijana wanachukua na loan. Hawezi, sasa hii imeongeza ushuru. Mtu ameleta na za stima. Kuna tu vile ukora inaingizwa kwa hii system.
Okay.
Wameleza za stima saa hii.
All right.
Na yote ni pesa, huwezi chukua mara moja. Hiyo kulipa kidogo, unapata mtu amechukua amelipa for a year, imebaki mwaka moja ameshinda wamekuja wamechukua. Ile yenye umelipa nusu na hiyo yote imepotelea. Unaona?
Okay. Asante. Thank you. I've noted down your point. Let's hear from you, Solo. Solo, you started a business from scratch, literally, from scratch. Talk to us about your origins and what was that moment where you can say it was like your first break moment, and what did it teach you in this business? Tangu uanze, kuna moment gani ile ilitokea which was like a first break, yani, and it impacted you in a big way, and how did it change you? What did you learn from it?
Okay. Personally, nilianza biz kitambo nikiwa kampo. Me and Mansa, we used to hawk.
Mansa in the building?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We used to hawk earrings, class to class.
Earrings?
Campus, yes. Earrings and lipsticks, zamadem. And now COVID came, it killed the business. Because now, tulirudi home, and now you can do it. Because everything is online, everything is virtual. When we came back, sales zilikuwa down sana because classes attendance haiko kibao sana. So that's when we moved to the second business. We started selling jerseys, football jerseys. As you know, football jerseys season ikisha May, in a break till August. So from May to August, sales go down. A friend of mine approached me, niaje solo, tuanze shughuli ya kupiga errands. I was like, okay. Tukaanza errands. And venye tulianza, unapata ukona hatukuanza Gikomba, tulianza CBD. Na ndo naambia kama vijana hapo hivi nje opportunities ziko. Una need to kujilocate to place. Unaweza ingia CBD, we hang around to uende kwa shops kama 10. Uambie ni aje mko na deliveries, unaweza nichapia. Kila delivery ni so. So uko na shop kama 10, upige delivery 10, at the end of the day make 1,000 bila capital. Una get? So tukaingia sasa, ilikuwa by word of mouth, ikwambia mseni aje nafanyaga errands. Tulikuwa napiga grocery shopping na CBD, then tukapata client wetu wa kwanza tukampeleka Gikomba. And tukapeni hiyo siku tulishoot content. So content ikablow online. And then sasa tukaconcentrate sana na Gikomba. Ndo tusipoteze audience yetu. Because unakama unataka kupiga shughuli but bila strategy. Wasi wako na ideas kibao but wana strategy. Una get? So hapo ndo vitu zinaenda mrama. Unaanza so kwa hiyo harakati ya kuanza vitu kama GP ndo unapata sana ma youngins depression ina kick in, unaanza kutumia madre, vitu mingi unakuwa
mentally unstable. Your time.
Nita give up alafu. Unajua si ati niko na option, ni nijitume. So venye tulianza kuisukuma, kuna school unapata msemo mmoja wa kupeleka soko wiki mzima. Unampeleka na 1,000. Hiyo 1,000 ndio itakusukuma wiki mzima. Utajinyumaje? 1,000 haiwezi kusukuma anywhere. Una get? But nile unaona it's bigger than. Yani unaona hiyo future. Unaona ni aje? Na ni tu kuisukuma mpaka ifunguke. Kuisukuma mpaka Wakenya wakubali ile kitu napiga. Kuisukuma consistency. Cause na feel si give up ile time tuko almost kufika. So ukiendelea tu ku lock in na ku show up daily, ijipe as long as you show up, ipo tu siku. So I guess tukiwa na hiyo, mimi na Mansa tukiwa na hiyo mentality, imeshiki kutusukuma sana. Ijipe lazima tu show up. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask him if he pays taxes.
Unalipa tax kivipi?
Mimi.
Kwa hiyo 1,000, because my point is, at some point when you're doing business and you're not paying taxes, it seems like you're doing well. But if you do, for example, if you have to pay single business permit,
like what he's talking about,
ukapiga tu sasa hiyo biashara yake, sasa iko sawa kwenye anapiga unaizunguka, lakini ile time utaka kwanza kufungua shop and you establish yourself, you realize that in Nairobi alone, we did the math, on average it will cost you around 100,000 to get a single business, a unified business permit. So it means that ukitengeneza 1,000 per day times 20, that's 20 Gs, times 12, that's 240. License peke yake itaenda 100K, ya county peke yake. And that's why I was saying it's extremely important for us to be able to support this type of businesses. We need to look at kitu from a macro level and start holding both county and national government to account to ensure that this type of business doesn't close. And this is the problem tuko nayo, that jamaa anapiga shughuli yake vizuri sana, anapiga vizuri, lakini the moment atagrow afike bali fulani utafunga. Just having a regulated, and that's one license for county alone. We've not talked about national government licenses, KRA taxes, etc. And for me, that's the biggest danger, and that's why I thought
also to pick up on
what
he's saying. For example, sasa utakam upate place kama Gikomba, kuna sisi wasa kupeleka watu Gikomba, kuna thrifters, kuna wasa kupiga pasi, kuna tailors, kuna wamadhi wa kuzapo. Alafu Gaves ikami iseme inataka kubomoa vibanda ioshe mto. So unataka aseme wapi? Una get hawakupe option. Gava ina try kukill kila kitu. Kama unapata for example ndio umeinvest, umebuy tenje, umeimport tenje, wameweka ile taxes, wameongeza ma taxes hata sasa hata hauko motivated kupiga shughuli because au feel your support. Una get government to fail. Hiyo ndio kitu tunasema government to fail. Kama upate aso na thrift ni kina nani? Si ati nasawa chakula mbuku. Ana wasi wako na degree, ni wasi wako na ma first class, ana wasi wamekula mbuku. Utakama upate beba, akwambia ni aje nilikuwa gayon sijui lini. But hii system imetufail tu sana. Mimi nataka kudanganya, system imetufail. Ajabu. Wanataka kukuja watupea hizo so ezindo wananikata tunahitaji sana na si hata kio so. Tunataka tu show kesho utapataje hizo. Kesho hizo tutaimultiply aje ikuwe so 2 kesho. Kesho kuto iko so 3. So na kama wanatupea hizi do kidogo wanaona watufanyia the most. Na hakuna kitu wanadu. Una get?
Okay, I can see some of you reacting. Let's hear from someone who hasn't spoken. The gentleman right behind, gentleman from Kuria.
Okay.
Then we'll come to you, the guy at the back. Jina na point yako tafadhali.
My name is Thanas Mutuku.
Atukusikie ndugu yangu. Wasemaje?
My name is Thanas Mutuku.
Yes, Mutuku. Pandisha mic kidogo juu. Yes, Mutuku.
Thanas Mutuku.
Yes.
I come from Mwala, Machakos County. Yeah,
Yes.
I would like to say, as to me, the government is failing us as the youth because we are not lowly. Actually, we are self-motivated. We work and we are thrashing on this, but the government is taking us down because the kind of taxation they are putting on us is not like the way it should be.
Okay.
Yes, the government, we know it is meant by the taxation. Okay? We don't deny that. But the levy, it is too high.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's hear from the guy behind you. Your name and your comment, please.
Yes. My name is Molten Macau.
Macau, yes, karibu.
I'm an entrepreneur. Bandaski. Bandaski ni kiosk ya hoteli. So, huyu mambo ya levy and taxes.
Shika mic vizuri tukusikie.
Levy and taxes.
Yes.
They are really hurting us. Juu, tuseme for example, kitambo tulikuwa tunapika mangumu, machapo, they were cheap. Tulikuwa tunauza chapo 10, sasa tunauza 25 ama 30.
Sasa hakuna mahali chapo ni 10 bob.
Bezi yangu huko hivyo.
Oh, bezi yako ni 10 bob.
Ni 30, 25. So unapata hiyo tax inatufinyilia sana. Alafu tunauzia watu wa mjei peke yake. Like watu wa mjei tu ndio wanaweza afford hiyo chakula yetu. Juu chapo zingine kama smocha sasa hizi ni 70 ama 80. Na sasa hizi huwezi uzia mtu wa mjengo hizi nunua smocha. Juu hiyo ni kuharibu pesa. Labda tumewe chapo 2 aende apige mjei yake. So that the tax is too much for us.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's hear from somebody else. The other half of the baking business. What's your name and what's your point?
Hi, my name is Fidelis Itegan.
Hi, Fidelis.
I'm the founder and CEO of High Nourish Mind and Body Wellness. I'm a nutritionist. And I feel like for right now, our side jobs, like the gigs we are doing, it's out of survival mode. It's not out of ambition. Because I tend to think that many of us right now, we are living from hand to mouth with the economy and everything. So, for example, our business, when are we going to make generational wealth? When are we going to have assets? Because the profits are running from rent, bills, blah, 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 you know? So for me, the real question here, it's not like if hustling is good or bad, but is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? For example, the way you said, like, the digital access is equalizing the platforms for business and everything. What about those people who are in rural areas whereby they don't have this data, they don't have these tools, they're going to be left behind. So I feel for us, it's the government to support us and build system. For example, teaching kids who are in school about financial literacy, how to make and sustain and build wealth. Yeah, so.
All right. Thank you for that. Let's hear from one other person. Hapo nyuma, yes, gentleman from Korea. And then we listen to you before we come back to the, yes.
Okay, kwangu mimi.
Habuba, you say, your name is Habuba, you
Yeah,
say?
mwanaharakati J Habuba.
Okay.
Kila mtu analia about tax. Na the reality saizi hata tulie bado, government hakuna kitu inaweza fanya. Kwa sababu kila mtu ako na self-interest.
Agonla, is this true? Like, are you resonating with what he's saying?
Yeah.
I'm not.
All right, we'll come back to you in a sec.
Lakini, tunaweza kuwa na solution moja. Kuamua kwamba, tuwe na maongezi ya moja kwa moja kwamba, tunateseka kwa biashara. Na the only solution ni kwamba coming 2027 kila kijana anajua ugumu wenye anapitia. Ni kuwa na kura alafu kupiga hii system nje because hata tuongee without reforming system bado ni kazi bure tunafanya.
All right, thank you so much. Let's hear from you. Alafu ndugu pale nyuma kidogo.
Okay, thank you so much.
Naomba usimame tafadhali.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much. My name is Victor Mbua. Personally, what I want to address is...
Kwanza unapiga haso gani?
Okay, mimi napiga, I'm a broker.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we talk about this hustle economy, I want to embark on what my brother Solo has said. Ameongea kitu nimeniguza sana about these people who are graduates and they are out on streets. They don't have these opportunities. It touched me because I want to imagine someone who has done maybe a course like financial engineering, and then at the end of the day you tell this guy maybe to be in the boda sector. I'm not saying that the boda sector is bad, but for instance, we are children of the third industrialization. We found Kibaki in, someone who took us to school. So you find that most people of our generation are really, really educated, and they don't have these jobs. What can the government do? In 2016, when Donald Trump got into power, the unemployment rate of citizens in the United States was around 4.7%, and it reduced to 3.5% in around 2 years of his tenure. This was basically because of one of these things that happened in the crypto space. There was a bull run in 2017, whereby something like Bitcoin shot from $1,000 to $20,000. These are the things that we as Kenyan youths need now to engage in. We need the government to support us to get really, really into this online space. The president sometimes say that finya laptop toa dollar. We think now that is the initiative that now the government has to take in order to reduce these unemployment rates. Basically because, personally, I have done something media related. I can sit where you are right now and still do the same work you do. Maybe we have the same levels of competency, but you are older than me. Maybe before I wait for the systems to offload, at least I should have something to do, because the investments that our parents are putting into us, it's a lot. And you understand the frustration that comes with
the expectations.
Yes.
All right.
And the youth in this country are frustrated. Okay. We should get people into things like the right skills in things like Forex. For instance, I did a research and I found that Forex is a multi-trillion dollar space.
My guy, hapo kwa Forex. Hapo kwa Forex kuna njaa kidogo. But on the point, hapo kwa Forex ni kuna njaa kidogo. But on the point of skills, actually, thank you for raising that, because I would like to throw that question to part of our panel. Yeah. Thank you, Ombo. We'll come back to you, I assure you. One of the things that keep coming up is skills, and opportunity. I want to throw this question to Martha, to Nelson, and Victor. Talk to us. What are these skills that, let's start with you, Nelson. What are the skills that are missing? Who should have taught them? And what can the youth of Kenya do to bridge that gap? Not just for themselves, but also what can the government and people like you and you, what can you do to bridge that gap? What are these skills? Let's start there.
Thank you, Victor. And I hear you, my brother, when you talk passionately about that. The challenge of youth unemployment is quite challenging, and it's very difficult for many young people, especially those who are leaving school. But there's something we found out in Generation Kenya. So for those who don't know, Generation Kenya is trains, and then we place young people into jobs. Of course, we work with 18 to 35 young people. We have trained over 35,000 young people and placed over 85 of them into jobs. So there's something unique we found out about this issue of skills and training. We found out that for someone to be holistic and to deliver quality, you need to combine both technical and soft skills.
Okay.
So there is something unique in our training called the mindsets. The way we are raised up, as an individual, I thought that I could grow up with a mindset, but I later found out that a mindset is something that can be taught, right? Sometimes these young people, whenever they come to a program, they have come with their traditional mindset. So this mindset needs to be shifted.
Can you give us an example of what a mindset is? And if what Solo said, Ile, ni give up alafu, is that an example of a mindset? What are you talking about when you say mindset? Tuelewe. Ama namna gani?
There is one mindset that young people, especially those who are finishing school, they always think that maybe for you to get an opportunity, they have to know a godfather somewhere.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
That's a poverty mindset, because you believe someone has to help you for you to advance. All right? There's also another mindset where we see young people believe that because of what people told them, maybe when they were growing up in school, they were maybe not performing very well academically, that's how they will end up being. Right? So we need to democratize that mindset first so that these young people know that I have capacity, I have competence, I can do well, I can survive, and I can thrive.
Self-belief.
Just ability to believe in yourself. If you can believe in yourself, if I come to your company, Meyakane, I'll transform that company because I believe in myself and the ability to perform. Actually, that is a sentence in one of our pledges. And these young people, when they come to a program, they recite that pledge every day to enforce that mindset. Okay. And therefore, for me, I believe that partnership has a long way to go when it comes to solving this challenge.
So the matter of mindset helps with the soft skills. You said there's a gap. You said technical skills and soft skills. Those are lacking. And one of the ways to remedy that is through fixing the mindsets.
That is part of it.
Okay.
For technical skills, we have to align the technical skills with what the industry needs.
Okay.
Right, and that's what Generation does. Before we start to train young people, we go to the market, we ask the market, what is it that you are looking for in these young people? The market tells us, in customer service, we want people who are able to articulate themselves and people able to communicate with chatbots at the moment. Then we bring these young people, we tell them, okay, this is the training that you have. You're struggling to get a job, come to a program. Within 8 weeks or 9 weeks, then this company is able to come and hire you. And the company is actually able to come and participate in the training.
Actually, allow me to just dig a little bit deeper. So for example, the market that you've spoken to, the companies that you deal with, the organizations, people like the retail, RETRAC, what's the Retail Association of Kenya, Retail Traders Association of Kenya. You've got people in the transport sector, like our brother here. You've got people in finance. You've got people in all these different sectors, hospitality and so on. What are the common things that the market needs that the youth are lacking? For example, you've said they need to be able to talk to, package themselves, articulate themselves. That's lacking. What else are these guys lacking? And what else do they need to learn to be able to serve the market better? From where you sit, what have you seen? What else have you seen?
You won't believe it, that one of the challenges that some of these young people lack is time management.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Some of these young people, they struggle keeping time. And that's why when they come to a program, we actually tell them that you have to be here by 8:30 every day, right? Because whenever you're going to these clients to serve them, right? These clients, sometimes some of them come very early to the market, right? This guy goes to Gikomba. You know what time these guys, Gikomba people, wake up?
But now you can say we have issues with time management.
Wait, I'll finish my point. I'll finish my point.
What do you mean?
Hold on, how many are good with time? Honestly. How many honestly can do a little better with time? Honestly. That's an honest answer. Let's continue. Apart from time management, what else have you seen?
I think one of the other challenges that we have seen is that there is lack of ability to embrace mentorship, right?
Everyone is a lone ranger.
Sometimes everyone wants to do things at their own pace. They feel like they'll conquer the world in a very short period of time. They feel like, and that's why we've had in some of these issues where, you know, young people come and say, okay, I can make it tomorrow. They don't want maybe to listen to people who've been there and done that and all that. And I'll give you an example. In one of our programs, we call the Digital Customer Service Program. What we realize is that when these young people talk to people who have been in that industry for some time, their mindset also starts to change because they talk to people who have got some lived experiences. Lived experience is very important. Like my guy here has been in the tuk-tuk sector for some time. If I buy my tuk-tuk today and I start just driving anywhere that I want, I may get a few customers here, but this guy will tell me, these are the road that you need to follow because this is where you'll find people likely to take tuk-tuk. These other guys will just take manyangas. You get? And sometimes they even take loans without proper advice. You get?
Okay.
And therefore repaying the loan becomes a challenge because they don't know how to structure that loan effectively for a long time of time.
Who's giving out the loans?
All right. Sorry?
Who's giving out the loans?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good question. There's a gentleman who was there before you. We're coming to you, I assure you. It will not dissolve. You still have the mic. Your name was Makau. Makau is the chap behind you. Your name was? The other one? Mutuku. Talk to us, Mutuku. Nini yo imekuasha sana?
Okay. My point goes to him. You have said that our time is so bad. No.
Okay.
Because as to me, I know how to wake up. And then nobody should send me. It is me and it is purposely on me. So you can't tell me that it is time that is sending me. No, it is me.
All right.
My pocket,
Thank you.
my hungry.
And your issues.
Me to seek money.
All right. Thank you, Mutuku. Let's hear from someone from the back. Madam Treasurer. You,
okay.
Madam, yes.
Okay, I want to, maybe you are addressing the wrong people, maybe not those who are in hustling, but those who are hustling, I'm telling you, like personally, I've employed 3 people who depend on me. You can't say that if things are wrong, we are not managing our business well. We have a problem in Kenya, and that problem needs to be addressed. It's not about lack of experience. I've been in business for more than 15 years. I can tell you there is a problem.
Okay.
The problem is not management of time. I know if I borrow money, I've been borrowing money and I've done things with my money when I borrow from bank, but nowadays people cannot even pay money. Women are going to take Shylocks. When they take Shylocks, they are not even able to return the money. What is the problem?
Okay.
The economy.
All right.
There's no cash flow. That's the problem.
That's the main problem.
Yeah, there's no cash flow.
All right, let's hear from somebody else at the back. Yes, one of our bakers. Yes? Please hold the mic properly.
And say that the problem is the system. The system has failed us real bad. Kama si kujituma, singekuwa hapa today. Tomorrow I'm going to somewhere in the morning. It's not that I'm not managing my time or CND mentorship program. I have another one, 7:30 a.m., and I'll be there. So it's not about Mimi. I'm not...
So you're not in the category of time wasters?
Basically, I feel like the things they teach us in school, 844, is very irrelevant. Why? Okay, the CBC are doing quite okay, but why should I wake up, learn about some things that I won't apply in the society today, in the community? Vitu hazita nijenga. Say, after you look back, you're like, nini niyo nilisoma, ilinisaidia wapi sahi? And yet sahi, najitaftia, I am doing this, juggling this, doing the other, and none of that. It's all about skills.
Okay.
The skills that you all taught us.
All right.
Nothing.
All right. Let's hear from the gentleman right in front of you. Yes?
Thank you very much for giving me this time.
Yes.
And I would like to put it plain as a careful observer.
Hii mambo ya time ni ukweli?
It is not true.
Really?
Sio ukweli hata kidogo kwa
Ama
sababu
mahasla wako sawa, wale wanatafuta
in
kazi.
fact, people in the hustling economy are always very clever. You know, for you to find somebody just to do his things, alafu dakika ya mwisho mtu mwingine anakuja anampea pesa, huyo mtu si mjinga, na hata hii mambo ya time can never be the issue.
All right.
Me, when I look at this thing very well, I'm seeing a problem in even the way my sister has said here. What we get, the information we get in school is trying to prepare us just to be the same. Standardization aspect we get in school is making us just to think just the same. But I think when we were created to diversify our spaces, to think differently in order, you know, we grow when we are different. The more we are different, we grow and develop better than when we are the same. So the problem here, in my view, is the management, the decision makers, they make decisions without involving us as the people who are on the field. For example, for you to manage things is just a matter of policies, a matter of structures, a matter of systems. And these three things, the structures, the policies, and the systems are where the problem is. Because if, for instance, you spoke about the piki guys, these people, in fact, in that field is a field, I'm an investor there and I know it. That is a field where you get money in minutes. And it is a field, if at all we can get the goodwill from the decision makers, actually, the people in the piki field can really be better in terms of economy. Okay. So it is just a matter of policy, system and structures, which I think the people who are making all this, they don't have the goodwill to do it with a mindset of helping the people. All right, thank you for that. Agola, I saw you nodding, but before that, yes, Solo.
I just wanted to bring it to him. It's a question. Nani wanapea hizi loans and what's the criteria? What does make you qualify for that loan? Secondly, I heard you say that we don't listen. We are not willing to learn from the people who are ahead of us. Yet I tend to feel like these people are gatekeeping everything because wana feel ni kama tukiona, unajua, wana feel tukiona knowledge wako nayo to come to overtake. You see, actually, that's one of the main reasons as to why the government is not supporting us. They know what we are capable of doing. Wanajua sini wa deadly. So wanajua wakitupea tu platform kidogo, tunaenda tukiendaga nayo. Okay. So wanaigatekeep, wanaishikilia sana. Nadanganya ama ni ukweli? He's going to answer that question. It's true. It's true. It's true.
But he's talking about, to be fair, he's talking about training. These are the things that they train people. So they are giving that information.
He said that we are not willing to learn.
Ah, okay. So and that you have a problem with that?
Yes, because what's willing to learn? That's why you'll find us, YouTube University, tuko YouTube, tunasoma vitu. YouTube.
Maybe if I can.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Tuko ChatGPT kila siku.
Okay.
Tuna research.
All right. We need to really keep it going. So Nelson, you may need to clarify. I'll give you a minute and then we go to Victor and then Duguye to Mr. Mboka and then Martha here.
I think just to put it into context is that many a times we've worked with young people. We've noted that the mentality sometimes of, being able to adapt to situations, requires them to be able to adapt to certain situations, certain environments, and requires them to maintain basic things like being able to dress smart, appearing in certain retailers' shops. You need to find a young person who's dressed neatly, who's dressed smartly, and who opens the shops quite early. And I think that's the idea. The idea is not that young person can't wake up early. The idea is that they need to have that mindset to be ready to serve customers at certain times and all that. There are many other times when you've woken up going to a shop, you realize that's still closed. Nobody's opened, ready for that. So the idea is that this skill needs to be inbuilt into them, that about the service that you offer to people has to be top-notch and all that. And ideally, the other area is, young people need to embrace learning. Right now, there is AI that has come into place.
YouTube University.
That's going to change how we are doing business. Right now, you can do a business case using ChatGPT and all that, but there's need for continuous training for them to be able to inculcate that.
All right, all right. Victor, you heard what the chairman of Juakali was talking about. You were nodding quite seriously. Is he correct?
Yeah, I think it's a correct assessment of the situation that we have, and you can see the frustration that we see from entrepreneurs that they are saying things are not working. It is easier for us to to point a finger and say they're not working hard enough or they're this or that. But I think it's a question of we need to be able to look at a system properly and diagnose and unlock what the challenge is.
What solutions would you propose?
I think one of the things that that I think you posed as a question is, do we need capacity building? I think for me, capacity building is like is telling someone who is hungry, eat a balanced diet. Someone who is hungry does not care about balanced diet. They want food first. So where we are at as a country is, yes, capacity building, and entrepreneurs have gone through many capacity buildings from government to whatever. But the real issue here is that we need to be able to help our entrepreneurs to invest in sectors that will make them grow without needing a bank loan. A bank loan or any other credit is just there to maybe help you buy an asset, grow at scale. But it is not what you need to survive. What we currently have as a situation in Kenya is a lot of people are taking either loan.
They're borrowing to survive.
They're borrowing to pay utilities, water.
Borrowing for consumption.
That's not business. So it means that there is a problem. Number one is, we can see even from government perspective, government is giving financial products that continue to make sure that this hustler remains in the same situation. If you look at a lot of these funds that we have, for example, Hustler Fund, it's a good fund, but you can see it's a cash flow financing fund. You need financing to allow for her to start building a tailoring business, for him to start building, maybe he wants to be a content creator, etc. They need to buy equipment. You can't buy equipment using Hustler Fund. You can't buy equipment using the normal credit that we have. So we need as a to ask government to have, either as a solution, have a theory of change or a plan of identifying critical sectors that can enable entrepreneurs to thrive very well. Okay. For example, agriculture in terms of value addition, manufacturing, as well as innovation. Then ask ourselves, then what environment do we need to create, even for border? What environment do we need to create in terms of access to market, in terms of access to finance, in terms of policy, and in terms of finance as well, to ensure that these businesses are able to thrive? Then they can jituma. Once the environment is there, people can buy equipment, people can do, you can decide whichever sector that you want. And this is what developed countries do. The opportunities are there. You can decide to go look for a job or to enter into business, and there are many opportunities that are there because the environment works for them.
So Victor and everyone in the room, I think at this point, let's shift the conversation to solutions. So I want to ask a question to everyone, and let's hear your ideas. If you have an idea, put up your hand. So how do we fix it? How do we build that environment to make it more conducive so that our entrepreneurs have the benefit of choice and they have the luxury of choice, not desperation, but choice? You're doing it. Our investor in Kibandaski has the choice to an opportunity to set up something in hospitality because of choice. Let's go around the room and let's start with Martha. From where you sit, what ideas do you have to make this environment as conducive as possible? Quick as you can, please.
Yeah, and one thing is there's a lot of skills mismatch in Kenya. You find that we are churning maybe finance people, we are churning accountants and teachers and all that. Yeah, at Ajira and at KEPSA, we do research every time we start a cycle to find out, are the jobs still relevant? So right now we found that things like transcribing and writing are no longer marketable. Nowadays we are moving to AI, digital marketing and all that. So the question is, are the youth and the entrepreneurs and the hustlers doing their own research? Unapika chapati kila siku, do people want healthier options? I don't know. So are we innovating in the spaces that we are? Sai tunapika smocha. We'll do smocha for how long? Is there someone who can come up with something else? I don't know, something that is more healthy. Like people, ask questions, ask your clients questions, find out what do they need. Is there something you can innovate better so that you're able to always stay in the same, you're able to stay in business and actually grow it. Okay. I think Kenyans have, and I think we've all mentioned that most of the hustlers are actually university graduates. When we did the first project, we found out the people who did the best in the employment, in the space that you are doing, were people who are university graduates. They were employing others. Are you working towards building an empire that you can employ others? You're running a smocha business, or you're selling chapati or baking. Do you think, how do I grow in such a way that I'm no longer the one baking, but I'm hiring 5 other bakers? How do I innovate? How do I create that space?
Okay.
And lastly, I want to also mention something on the skills match. There's a time we're in Kisii, and there was only one person who could repair electric tailoring machines.
Really?
You have 1,000 tailors who have to wait for this guy, if he's unwell, to come and repair that tailoring machine. There's also a time that I think one university was looking for a hairdresser.
Like a trainer?
Yes, trainer. And they couldn't get in the whole country. I think they got one person who was moving all around. So the issue is not that there are no jobs, but do we have people, do we know what gaps are in the market currently?
All right.
Do we know what is needed in the market currently, so that we are able to skill our youth or capacity build them for those particular opportunities? AI is coming up very, very fast, and machine learning and all that. Right now, we all moved to data analysis. Everyone is now training maybe data analysis. What happens when we now need people to train AI? Then you start thinking, okay, now there's space, let's train. By the time you're training, something else has come up. So I think it's to make sure
catch up.
Yeah, to catch up with research. What is the industry talking about? What are the spaces that are there? And can we be able to skill our people to fit in those spaces?
All right, Solo, what solutions do you have? Unaitwa Solo, unapeleka watu Gikomba, na unajua mashimo, na unajua masolutions gani?
Naweza sema niko na mbili. Moja, tukue more creative.
Okay.
Tumeona kuna mse fulani wa car wash, sasa anaenda door to door akiosha wasi magari. Anatoa wasi wenye sahi akona more clients kuliko mse mwenye akona location tu yake physical. So it's all about being creative na kuisukuma pale hivyo nje. Ya pili ni to change na trends. If sai tuko in a digital space, digital economy, if ulikuwa na shop tuseme physical, what's your online presence? Sai cause walking si kibao. If nikibai nguo kwa mse atandelivery yako nyumba, ini save tembea all the way to town. Una get?
Okay.
So cause system imetudanganya that venye alisema 8444 ndio sijui ukienda ukipiga 8444 umemake it uingie white collar, upige suti, wendo ukiocha jamii. As in to embrace ile kitu tunadu.
Okay.
Hata kama ni mjengo, hata kama ni nini, just love what you're doing. We appreciate na uisukume na itakuwa kia.
All right.
Yeah.
To be creative and change with the times, adapt to the times. Yes. Let's hear from this side of the room before we bounce back. Quick, 10 seconds. The guy at the corner, I haven't heard your voice. Gentleman at the corner, please pass him the mic. What is your one big solution? 10 seconds.
My name is Victor Musioki.
Karibu.
I'm a boda investor pale Ngara.
Karibu.
For me, I can say for the government officials, the law enforcement, they can lower their hunger and teach people what they should do. Like boda people, when you walk in the streets of Nairobi, you don't know maybe where to pass the right way. Maybe kama wewe ni mgeni hata unaweza stukia ushaingia kachochoro, kumbe ni ka wrong side.
Okay.
The one who wants to arrest you, ako tu kando yako anaona tu ukiingia. Instead of telling you this is not the right way, anakuambia tu ingia. After tu umeingia hivi,
unashikwa. Thank you, Victor. Let's hear from somebody else who has not been heard. The gentleman, Victor, right in front of you. Tusikie sauti yako. Unaitwa nani na point yako ni gani? What's your big solution?
Yes, Makao Wambua.
Yes.
I work with Solo.
Okay.
So my solution is creativity. Si kama youth, usikue tu held up kwa kitu moja. Think outside the box. Kuna vitu moja unaweza fanya. Maybe uko na shop. Open up kufanya vitu zingine different kama unaweza employ wa deliveries. Na pia gava ounde system ina kwa kila mayouth wote. Ukiangalia mayouth wengi walikuwa na dream ya kuingia 8 to 5. Au umetoka kampo unaambiwa inafaa kuwa na 3 years experience. Hiyo unatoa wapi hiyo?
Okay.
So wase wanaopt wasol tu.
All right. Let's hear from somebody else who has not spoken. Want to go around the room. Now they'll say I'm favoring Victor's. Let's hear from the other half of the bakers. Gender balance. Let's hear from you, Madam CEO.
Yeah, thank you. Also, one thing I will advise the youth to do is embracing their mental well-being. For example, everyone is saying you have to be OG2 males, self-aware. Clearly, if you look at the system, mental well-being has been sidelined, but that's where you'll get your fuel, where you'll know your mission, what the world needs from you, your passion, what you love, your vision, what are you building, and also your professionalism, what are you skilled at. So I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we haven't heard from you, sir. Quickly, please, tafadhali, Mboka.
Yes, mimi ningependa kusema hivi, ya kwamba serikali iweze kutushika mkono sana sana kuempower sisi wanabodaboda through our SACCOs. Because outside there we have SACCOs, na hizo SACCOs ni majina tu. But empowerment ya kuempower hizo SACCOs hakuna. Unapata vijana wengi kweli tumekubali kufuata sheria ya serikali, wamesema tuingie kwa SACCOs. Yes, tumefanya hivyo. But empowerment kwa hizo SACCO hakuna. Unapata tumejaribu kuweka pesa kwa bank, tumejaribu kuweka pesa mahali penye inafaa, lakini unapata zile pesa ni kidogo. Unapata sasa sisi wenyewe tunajaribu kujikopesha wenyewe pesa. Lakini serikali imekaa tu. So tunaomba serikali iweze kuingia ndani, iempower hizi SACCOs, waweze kujiinua. Hiyo moja wapo ya kuweka uchumi wetu ikuwe sawa.
All right, all right. Asante sana, Mr. Mboka. My producer is telling me that we are out of time. And I know if I risk going over that, we're going to have a problem. But I just want to appreciate the people that have sent in their feedback online. Just before we come back to the room in a moment, I want to appreciate the people who are sending in their feedback online, the people who are watching, who've been watching the show from the beginning. Dominic Kibet, Luke Odera, Silas Uden, Mike Man Songiman. I believe that guy is connected to one of you guys because he's talking to... But somebody else here says, God bless our hustles. Steve B, Don Riken, Boaz Kabaka, thank you so much. Kenneth Munene, Asante Sana, and Simon Macha and Radi Kago. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, I understand that we may be out of time, and I understand that clearly this subject is bigger than the time that we have. So right away, I just want to beg your indulgence. Samahani sana if you didn't get a chance to speak longer than you could have. Samahani sana, naomba msamaha kwa hayo. Lakini tunatayarisha part 2 of this conversation. Tunawaalika. If you're able to come, we'll be able to have more time this time, and hopefully we won't have any other interruptions that will cut our time down. So tafadhali, kwa heshima yenu, nawaomba samahani kwa kukosa muda. Lakini nashukuru kwa yale yote ambao mmeweza kuchangia kwenye huu mjadala, and I appreciate and I know the Kenyans at home are benefiting from this. Thank you so much for taking your time and coming to us tonight. And the people at home, thank you for watching. It's been the People's Court from the home of Untold Stories, TV47. I want to say good night and God bless you. And God bless Kenya. Asante. Yeah.